Hi, guys. Just going to talk about this season's Big Brother. The season finale was Wednesday night with Josh winning out over Paul, 5 votes to 4. Do I think Josh deserved to win? Well, out of the two of them, yes. Out of the entire show, not so much. But I got to say that I had a lot of problems with this year's Big Brother. Not the least of which was the house guests from day one, the second Paul walked in the door, sucking onto his rear end like an octopus tentacle. I've never seen that before. He'd have been the first one to go. Even he admits they should have been after him the second he walked in the door. Instead, they acted as if he was a god, like idol worshiping him or something. So, that being said, congratulations to Josh. Glad you beat Paul. I don't think Paul deserved to win. But, that being said, here's what I think of the final three. Christmas. I don't even think she deserved to be in the game. They played it as if she persevered this whole thing. The broken ankle and all that. And to an extent, she did. But also, she didn't have to play half the game. She sat there with a broken ankle and couldn't compete in anything. All she had to do was keep aligned with the numbers, and she gets through. She gets a necklace that allows her to replace any veto nominee at any point she wants. So she goes after Cody. Except, she didn't replace him. She couldn't play. Not sure why that was allowed to stand. The stipulation was she got to replace the veto player, not kick out the veto player, because that's all she did. Had she not done that, there's a good chance Cody wins the veto. Maybe not, but at least he would have got to play. Instead, she got to just kick him out and then sit on the sidelines like she did for half the season. Oh, and also kind of run her mouth a little bit. But I have an issue with her not really having to play half the game and getting on through to the end. Again, you can blame that on the other players being stupid, but CBS kind of messed that up, I think. I think if you're screwing around in the backyard and you break bones, maybe you shouldn't be allowed to continue. Just my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. Josh. I don't know why, but I got the impression that from the very minute he walked in the door, that Josh was an actor. I don't think anybody acts like that in real life. And I get that they want them to be over the top, but he was almost at that next level. And like I said, I don't know why, but I almost got the impression he was an actor. And I think he deserved to win. I think Paul played a better strategic game. But Paul played the sneaky, go behind the scenes and try and control everything and whatever. He didn't really need to control anything. Like I said earlier, they were idol worshiping him. Josh put himself out there from day one. He was confronting people. He was loud. He was obnoxious. He was also trying to go behind the scenes and kind of be competitive. But he put himself out there to be hated, to be on the line far more than Paul did. I think that alone is worthy of a win. Except I couldn't figure out why until I sat down and thought about it. I couldn't figure out why anyone would be stupid enough, like Josh, that whenever Paul asked him to do anything, whether it was go outside and pick on Cody or go attack Mark or whatever Paul asked him to do, he did it. Go on the block as a replacement nominee, Josh did it. Did it. Then when Josh wins head of household, does he even ask Paul to return the favor and say, I need you to go on the block, man. I need you to go up as a pawn. Nope. Never did it. Really? Didn't even consider it? Come on. I found that to be a little odd. Unless, like Paul, unless what I'm thinking with CBS is that they're pushing Paul. The show was set up to forward Paul. Somebody at CBS likes Paul. Period. Guy walks in the door. He's the only veteran. They don't choose anybody else. He's the only veteran. Then he gets to come in and not just be another house guest. He gets to replace a house guest. They just send one of them home. They paid this money to ship these people in. Come on, come be in the house. Get these people excited about being in the house. Whoops, sorry, one of you's going home right away because we want Paul. Not only did they want Paul, they gave Paul immediately a friendship bracelet thing. He passes out friendship bracelets, immediately bonds with some certain people. That gets him a step up. Then they say, well, America chooses Paul to give 3 weeks of immunity to. And funny, we don't see any stats. We don't see any stats at all about how America voted. We don't see anything. CBS can say anything that they want at all. You bet. Paul was chosen by America to receive 3 weeks of immunity, secret immunity. He didn't even have to tell anybody. So he's there for basically a month, scot-free. And they had to, because they were trying to push their next show, Candy Crush. If you watch the previews for Candy Crush in the beginning of the game, Paul's on it. They needed him to be the face of Candy Crush as well if he's going to be on it, so we'll keep him in the game as long as we can. The longer he's in the game, better for CBS. I don't know, maybe that's crazy, but there's no way a returning veteran gets to the end like that without ever having been on the block, not even a target. But did Paul play a terrible game? Absolutely not. He played a decent game. I just think that they put him in with the right mix of people who were willing to idol worship him. They gave him immunities that he didn't deserve. They kicked out people so he could be in the game. So I think he had certain things to his advantage. After the necklace, Dr. Will's right. Those house guests had every opportunity in the world to kick him out, and they didn't do it. That's on them. But I think they needed him to be in the game for a certain amount of time. Somebody likes him, and he got where he was. In the end, I do believe that only 2 players in the entire household used their heads from the moment they entered the house. Paul was one of them. From the moment he entered the house, he was focused on the prize. I want to win. I want to win. What do I got to do? The only other one that used their head from the moment that they stepped in that door was Cody. He was the only one who said, we got to get this veteran out of here. I've got to do this. I've got to build alliances. I want to win this game. Let me get with Mark. Let me get with Matt. Let me get with Raven. Let me get with Elena. We can do this thing. Through a series of bad events, like people leaving the house, he ended up having to put Paul on the block, but had their alliances stuck together, Paul would have been gone. And the game wouldn't have been, well, I guess he had the necklace, but had they stuck to it long enough, he would have been gone eventually, and instead, it turned out the way that it did. Did I enjoy the season? Most of it. I really liked all the drama in it, of course, but I guess I would have not preferred the final 3 they ended up having. But in the end, it's Big Brother. It is what it is, and I always have problems with Big Brother, but what are you going to do? Congratulations to Josh for winning it all. Paul, you played a good game. No shame in losing this one. I thought Cody played an excellent game. I thought Jessica really played an excellent game, except made a very strategic error when instead of using her head and removing Ramses from the block, she used her heart and went, yeah, these guys are going to kick Ramses out. I believe them. She got duped, but what do you do? In the end, I'll keep watching Big Brother most of the time. When they end up voting out the guys that I like, sometimes I stop, but it's all good. Leave your comments in the section below if you think, if you agree or disagree, and have a good day.